Alright, so let's go ahead and do another real-world algebra problem. And so there's the steps that we use for these problems. That's just to remind you. If you're not familiar with these, go ahead and watch my previous videos, but otherwise, let's see this problem. And so it says, the code to unlock a student's combination lock happens to be 3 consecutive even integers whose sum is 48. Find the integers. So in case you're not familiar with the combination lock, students often use it to lock their lockers, and I guess other people could use it to lock other stuff. But anyways, it looks something like this, what I drew down here, and I'll get a blue pin. So there's the dial, so you turn that dial there, and then it actually turns this whole kind of circle here, and it turns it, and then this outer part stays the same. And you have a 3-digit, or not a 3-digit code, you have 3 different numbers in a code, so you have to turn the dial one way and match up the number on the dial with this red mark, then you turn it the other way and match up the second number, and then the first way again to match up the third number. But that's not what's important. All we need to know is that we have a 3-number code and those numbers are all integers. So an example of a valid code would be something like 6, 30, 17. So that's all we need to know for this problem. Now let's go ahead and write down the information that we're given in this problem and the information that we're being asked to find. So the information that we're being asked to find, we can find in the last sentence, and it says find the integers. So I'm just going to write bullet point integers. And the information that we're being given in the problem we can find in the rest of the problem. So it says the code to unlock a student's combination lock happens to be 3 consecutive even integers. So I'm just going to write here 3 integers, and some information about them is that they are consecutive even integers, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, but we'll just write it down for now. Consecutive even ints for integers, and their sum is 48. Sum 48. So here's what we know. We've got 3 integers who are consecutive even integers, excuse me. 3 consecutive even integers whose sum is 48, and we have to find those integers. So now that we've got this information, this will allow us to define variables and then write an equation. So first we're going to define some variables. So we've got 3 unknown numbers, one for each number or integer in the code. So we can make 3 variables like x, y, and z for each of the corresponding numbers, or we can be clever and just have 1 variable. So if we have 3 consecutive even integers, that means that there is a number with the least value, greatest value, and then one in between. So lowest number, middle number, and highest number. So let's define a variable right off the bat for the lowest number. So we'll say x, that's the variable that we'll use. We'll define it be the lowest number. So how can we define the next even integer? Because that's what the middle number is going to be. If they're consecutive even integers, the middle number is going to be the next even integer after the lowest number. So that means it would be how much more? It'd be 2 more, right? So the next even integer is always going to be 2 more than the previous even integer. So for example, we have 2, then 4. 4 is 2 more than 2, and then 6 is 2 more than 4, and then 8 is 2 more, and so on and so on. That's how even consecutive even integers work. Each one is going to be 2 more than the previous. So what does that mean for us? It means that the middle number is going to be 2 more than x, or x plus 2. So x plus 2 equals the middle number. And do the same thing for the highest number. It's going to be 2 more than x plus 2, so x plus 2 is x plus 4, and that's the highest number. And as a side note, it's the same thing for consecutive odd integers as well, because each one's going to be 2 more than the previous odd integer, just like with even integers. So now that we've defined all of our variables, we can write an equation using the other information that we had, and that was that the sum of these integers is 48. So let's just do that in words, and it looks something like this. It'd be lowest number, I should use a pound sign, plus middle number, plus highest number, equals, it's a bad equal sign, equals 48. So what we said there was that the sum of the three numbers, the three integers, is 48. And so if you notice, we've got variables that we define for each of those, so we can just substitute them in. So the lowest number is going to be, I'll just keep it white actually, the lowest number is going to be x, the middle number is going to be x plus 2, and the highest number is x plus 4 equals 48. So that's our equation there, and now we've got to solve for x. First thing we probably want to do is simplify the expression on the left side of the equation. So we've got x terms here, 3 of them, and then some constants. So we've got 3x plus 6 equals 48. On the right side stays the same, and then subtract 6 from both sides. So 3x plus 6 minus 6 equals 48 minus 6. So that's going to give us, just cancels out, 3x equals 48 minus 6 is 42, and divide by 3 on both sides, and that will get us our solution. X equals 14. So that's good. We found a solution to our equation, but what does x equal 14 mean in the context of a problem? Well, we have to ask ourselves, what did we define x to be? And up here you'll see we said x equals the lowest number, so that means that the lowest number is 14. And that also means that the middle number, which is x plus 2, is going to be 14 plus 2, or 16, and x plus 4 for the highest number is going to be 18. So there we go, we solved this equation. As the last check, we can say these integers had to sum up to 48, right? So that means 14 plus 16 plus 18 should be 48. And you can do that in your head. 14 plus 16 is 30, plus 18 is 48. So that's good. That checks out. Those numbers work. They are consecutive even integers. So let's just go ahead and make our concluding statement. Remember, they were asking us to find the integers, so we can just simply write down the integers are 14, 16, and 18. And there you have it. That's all I have for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.